Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Good afternoon, Jeffrey Combs. It is officially 1 o'clock California time. Welcome to Facebook Live. This is the once a week, every single week. This is the 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard call. There's a lot of history, Facebook Live. There's a lot of history with this Facebook Live that goes all the way back to 1998. John McFadden, good to see you on today's Facebook Live. As I was covering, there's a lot of history and there's a lot of culture to this call that goes all the way back to September of 1998. That is when I started Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated was originally Golden Mastermind Group, and then I incorporated that when I started my seminar company, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated, in September of 1998. So this Facebook Live is going to cover building a team culture, and that all started in 1998 when I started my seminar company. And I originally started this Facebook Live as a conference call at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. Then I moved it to 10:30 Eastern, which was 7:30 Pacific, and that was in 1999. And from 1999 all the way up until 2018, this was a conference call that at times had hundreds of people on it back in the day. I had Jim Rohn on this conference call. I interviewed Dr. Joe Dispenza a few times, Jim Rohn twice, Mark Victor Hansen on this Facebook Live, Susan Sly, a multitude of situations. Brittany Cara has been on this Facebook Live, Dr. Judith Orloff, Dr. Adam Sheff, who is a licensed counselor with 3 different degrees, one from Harvard, one from MIT, and one from USC. I mean, I have had exceptional people that I've interviewed on this first live conference call and then Facebook Live. And you can find some of these on my podcast on my website, goldenmastermind.com. So if you are building a team culture, and that team culture is applicable if you're building a sales force, or if you are out fundraising like my good friend John Collins is, or you're selling real estate like Valerie, or you're building a business like John McFadden. All of you are on today's Facebook Live here. And so if you're building a team culture, that also will show up in the team culture of your accountant, your attorney. I mean, who is in your circle of influence? Who are you attracting? Who is attracted to your influence? Who are you seeking to attract? Who is the ideal candidate that you are looking to attract to your reality through the businesses you are building or through the sales profession that you have? What is it that you are looking for? What is the clarity of the outcome you seek to create by the energy that you are transmuting? Because we are energy and we're transmuting that. And if you're in anxiety, fear, and doubt, well, you're going to transmute lack, poverty consciousness, scarcity, anxiety, fear, doubt, anxiety, the anxieties that create the emotions of grief, apathy, abandonment, rejection, overwhelmed feelings, and then the anger family of anger, hate, resentment, abandonment, rejection. And if you're in any of these feelings, you're going to attract your reality, people, and situations that will fulfill your feelings. So on the building a team culture, which is the email that went out, it's right here, leadership anxiety, right there. A large percent of the population lives in leadership anxiety because they have challenges leading themselves. If you have challenges leading yourself, then you will definitely have challenges leading others. And so the ability to lead self is your higher self. Your lower self is the ego, and that's the ego that lives in doubt. So if you're in doubt, that means you're in uncertainty, and it's that uncertainty that you will continue to attract your reality, people and situations to fulfill your feelings. Breathe, release, and let go, so that you are no longer the mind-body connection, to the events that shape the feelings. And as I'm speaking right now, a message just popped up of a woman who's in a position to hire me. I mean, there are no accidents that to my reality, I attract quality, like-minded success seekers, and you, no matter where you are, can create the same energy. So you could have had a horrific day yesterday. You can be living in your car. You can be absolutely at emotional rock bottom. You can be at financial rock bottom, but that's all 1 second ago, because who you are right now determines who and what you attract. And as you begin to let go of the doubt, the worry, the overwhelm, and especially how much you process, think, and analyze, and as you let go of comparing yourself to others, as you focus on being my best self, and that's free of guilt, free of anxiety, fear of doubt. Hi, it's Sharon. Good to see you this afternoon. Honored to be your coach. Aaron, thank you for being here. Sarah and anyone else that's here with me this afternoon, thank you for being on today's Facebook Live. The topic for today's Facebook Live is building a team culture, and this is the content for the Facebook Live right here. It was put out on Facebook Live yesterday, and if you're on my email list, you will also receive this. And so I've been building this culture since 1998. That's my Golden Mastermind Seminars culture, and I've been building that California S Corporation since September 1998. That corporation has grossed over $50 million from the comfort of my home right here in the home office, and that's building it one day at a time, one brick at a time, one person at a time, one lead, one day at a time over a long career. That's 26 years that I've owned my seminar company. In the previous 10, I was the network marketing direct sales industry, and it was not an overnight success journey for me. It was a 10-year odyssey of little to no money for the first 6 years in business, and then the 7th year in business, I began to cross the bridge. However, by that time, I also ended up $100,000 in credit card debt. Now, that was 1996. I was $100,000 in credit card debt. And in 1997, 8, in 1996, 7, and 8, I began to cross the bridge from struggling entrepreneur to an entrepreneur in prosperity. And then I started my seminar company, and I've built the culture of my seminar company September of 1996. And if you look over the landscape of the people I've coached, over 15,000 coaching clients, 150,000 hours, the landscape of the exceptional people that I have had the privilege of collaborating with, being in business with, mentoring, coaching, doing events with, sharing space with, receiving referrals from, a multitude of situations of gratitude to the people that I've had the opportunity to be in service with, add value to, and then the reciprocal effect, which is building the team culture, where there are multiple win-win situations, where we can come together of like mind and create common realities, where we can be in that place of harmony, when we can really connect with people. But this is not going to happen as long as you're in doubt. Now I'm going to take the three words, anxiety, fear, and doubt, then I'm just going to break them down to one word, doubt. Because doubt, in my world that I teach, doubt is the lower self. And the lower self is also called the ego. The ego is the analytical, egoic mind that holds on, that processes, that thinks, that rationalizes, and tries to make sense. And this will be the biggest deterrent, the biggest roadblock, the biggest challenge to attracting to your reality the team culture that you can collaborate with. I saw one of my students, Brittany Cara, did a team event last night on Zoom where she had well over 100 people on it, and she was covering your dialogue with money. Now, I know that I had a major influence on assisting her, and she has gone on and really next leveled that for herself, and that's why she is where she is the ability to create a team culture. So if you are building a sales force, or if you are an employer and you are looking for employees, it really comes down to the 1-3-5-7 principle. 1 person, 3 people, 5 people, 7 people that you create that team culture from. So if you're in the process, if you want to create a multiple 6-figure income, or you're in the fundraising industry or business or whatever business you're in, and you're looking for people to contribute to your cause, then you are looking for people who either have influence, have affluence, or people who seek to become that type of outlier. And you're also looking for the outlier, the person who is not the traditional, not the average person, not the person who tiptoes quietly through life and arrives at their grave safely. You're looking for people who have clarity of vision. You're looking for people who have clarity in the way they communicate. They don't have a lot of ums and kindas and guesses. And these people know who they are, and they know what they're looking for. These are the people that also show up on time. These are the people who are more responsible. They have a different level of respondability. And if you're a talent scout and you are seeking for that outlier, for those outliers, you're looking for the law of the few. And that law of the few, that can be a stay-at-home mom. That can be someone who just got out of rehab. That can be anyone, but it's going to be your responsibility to attract your reality, the quality, like-minded success seeker who believes what you believe. Now, if you're in doubt, what are you going to attract? You're going to attract other people who are in some level of doubt that you are. And that means that most of the planet is in that doubt. I mean, we're just coming off the back end of the Satan Super Bowl that you just saw, or the Saturn Bowl, as I also call it. So you saw a lot of people who believe in that whole game and that whole philosophy, but there are so many people who can see behind the veil of it. And these are the people who understand the truth. Now, once you understand the truth, then you will not be denied. And I had a great conversation with my exceptional client, John, today. And John and I were really breaking down the truth that he's arriving in. So you can arrive in the truth at 18 years old, or you can arrive in the truth at 81 years old, but that's really up to you. And the only way that you will ever master the truth is you master your emotions, and then you master letting go of doubt, and then you stay in a place called know, K-N-O-W. And when you're in the know, you know who to let go of. And when you're in the know, you hear what people mean, not say. And as you begin to elevate your level of consciousness, then you begin to change your boundary system. You have clearer and better boundaries for who you spend your time with. And what many people do is they waste their time with the wrong people so that they can be disappointed. And that disappointment is called the payoff. Then the ego goes, well, that doesn't make sense. That was a really good person. I sent a message out to these people. They promised me they were going to do this, but they didn't do this because they were non-committal from the start, and you didn't hear what was meant, you only heard what was said. And this is when you learn to read people. You hear the twigs snap in the forest. You hear the buffalo coming over the hill. You start to hear what's going on in the jungle, and you now have jungle skills. And so in the law of the jungle, you start to understand not just survival skills, but how to thrive in that jungle. I did a Facebook Live last night on the law of wasted energy, and that's what many people do, is they waste a lot of their time in non-productive time getting ready to get ready. Communicating, talking, cajoling, begging, rescuing, saving, enabling, over-obligating, doing too much for others, rather than devoting your time where it's deserved. What is going to bring you the ROT, the return on time and energy, ROTE? What's going to bring you the greatest return on your time and energy? Well, devoting it where it's deserved, where people receive the value from it. You devote it where it's going to bring you the best monetary results. You devote it where it's going to bring the best value. You devote it where you can offer your best service to the people who are receiving your service. You can be the best leader, but if you can't lead, if you don't have people to lead, then you're just standing alone. Your objective as a leader is to be a leader grower, to be able to attract mentees that you can mentor. And this is where you start to develop a team culture. When you're developing a team culture, you're also creating a system that can be duplicated, a system that is easy, a system that can be followed. It cannot be complicated. The system must be, the term duplicatable means that someone that's 18 or someone that's 80 can step into the job that you're offering, the business you're offering, the selling position that is simple. And this is why many people don't succeed, is because they are too complicated. If you spent any time with me, you would see that I live in a system, a routine, and a method. I duplicate it every single day. I don't get bored by it. I can eat the same thing every single day and not be bored by it. I pre-prep all my meals. I eat at the same time. I exercise at the same time. There's a routine and a system to my life. I'm a recovering winger. I'm a recovering no system operator. I lived on sheer talent for a number of years and thought I would get to the top of any organization just on sheer raw talent. Well, that doesn't happen. And that was also a big byproduct of why I was an honorable mention All-State athlete and not an All-State athlete. It's why I was third-team All-State athlete and not first-team All-State athlete, because I operate just on sheer edge. Well, that edge burns off, and I had to learn how to contain that edge and then channel it into inspiration, not motivation. How to channel that edge into relaxed energy, not intense energy. How to channel that edge and let go of the anger and turn it into passion. And this was an evolution for me. This was the first 10 years of my sobriety. As a dry drunk in early sobriety, I had the edge, but I would also break down neurologically. I would have headaches. My neck would go out of place. My back would go out of place. My life really took a change when I started to learn how to heal myself holistically and naturopathically. And I learned muscle testing, and I started to learn meditation techniques, and I started to let go. I also became a Christian. I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior. I had no spirituality. I began to really let go, and I started to understand the term surrender. So I thought I was going to will myself to success, and however, I alienated a lot of good people on that early journey because I couldn't duplicate business. So I would be able to graduate to a place called the law of the lid. So the law of the lid is an emotional state where you get to, and the lower self, the ego, that lives somewhere between doubt and belief. So that's the duality. And so as you learn consciousness has no duality. Consciousness doesn't go by win and lose. It's not black and white. It's not good and bad. It's not right and wrong. Consciousness operates in the context of knowing, understanding, letting people go, letting go of your own ego, being able to be your best self one day at a time. And then especially being right. Being right becomes righteousness for a large percent of the population. They spend more time proving that they're right while being righteous, which are narcissistic tendencies. And then they live somewhere between that duality of charm and hate. And if you've ever encountered narcissistic personalities, they're very charming and they're very hateful. And they can absolutely destroy you, and they also can absolutely groom you. And this is why in any team culture, you want to be able to spot these people, these personalities who are charming and destructive, because if you don't, they will destruct your business or your career or whatever it is that you're encountering with these people. But this is why it's important that you learn how to read people. So once again, if you're looking at my syllabus here today and building a team culture, as you go through the steps of it, overcommitment. Many leaders overcommit. They spend too much time in the wrong areas, too much time with the wrong people, and they practice their codependent tendencies. So point 3 on the syllabus today is learning the term non-attachment. So this is detachment. Detachment comes from anger. That's detachment. Right here's my left hand. Non-attachment comes from being no attachment. Detachment means I'll never talk to you again. Non-attachment is I'll let you go in peace. So as you become non-attached to the outcome, as you become non-attached in the law of least resistance, then you will not be giving your power to people. This is where you cross the bridge of not feeling rejected, not feeling abandoned, and you don't personalize it. You don't make it about someone else. You're able to easily and effortlessly let people go. And in the law of expectation, you understand people are predictable. And the more you understand someone's predictable, instead of setting yourself up to be disappointed and then going into the, I can't believe this, This always happens to me. This doesn't make sense. As you practice the law of non-attachment, which gives you complete flexibility and the opportunity to operate fully in life without being attached. And if you go, well, that's difficult, that's hard. Well, that's correct, because you've already gone into your lower self. It's a skill set that, when mastered, will pay you huge dividends, because it means you'll be able to let people go easily and effortlessly while remaining. You have the space open for people, allow space. You're allowing quality people to find you holistically. You're allowing people to find you generically, and you're allowing people to find you with ease. And so this becomes a major component of who and what you attract. So you also, as a leader in building a culture, you lead the few who commit. You can lead an entire team, or you can lead employees, but you're really going to lead the law of the few. There will be a few people who commit. That's the 1, 3, 5, 7 principle, or whatever number sequence is good for you. But that's what's good for me. I would focus on 1, continue to build that to 3, create the 5, and continue to attract to my reality leaders and leader growers, mentors and mentees who are seeking the law of the few, the energy that will allow them to transcend to the next level of success and the next level of consciousness. And this is really the breakdown in the law of numbers. So there's the 80-20 principle. If I had a whiteboard, I'd just draw it for you. 80-20. And then you break it down. The 80-20 represents the Pareto principles. And in the law of numbers, it also represents the law of the few. And the law of the few is also called the outliers. The outliers are the few people who grasp it, the few people who accelerate to different positions in life. And now the people you're looking for do it from class and character and Christianity and other situations and spirituality. And they do it without cheating the system. They do it with recognizing, looking for the goodness in other people, but also understanding that not all people are good, and being able to let people go easily and effortlessly. And in this type of leadership and in this type of situations, you're not circumventing the system or looking for the wrinkle or looking for a way to get over. And I've seen many people do this in pay plans and businesses, and they look for ways to beat the system, and what they end up doing is beating themselves. Because in the law of reciprocity, what you put out comes back, and that is called karma. And so as you start to live in the energy and the law of reciprocity, and you live in providence, where you're able to, the Lord provide, and you're able to provide through that same energy, and you're bringing that providence to free enterprise, and you're bringing that to your leadership skills, and you're bringing that to who you mentor, where you're going to attract your reality more frequently quality, like-minded success seekers. So in just the word leadership itself, there's more books written on leadership than any other topic in personal development and self-improvement. And there's a lot of room for you to become a leader, especially a leader grower. And so what leadership means, broken down, just right there in clarity, is influence. Do I have the ability to influence? Well, first of all, you want to be able to influence both brains. But if you're only influenced by your left brain, then you will stay in your analytical, egoic mind. You'll be sensitive and defensive. You'll find the flaws. You'll analyze, overthink, overanalyze, and then talk yourself out of being in business, which leads to procrastination and avoidance. And then the communication that moves, the mouth moves and says, I don't know why this happens. This always happens to me. This doesn't make sense. And so it's important that you learn to lead both sides of your brain. That's your right brain, your left brain, so you are one with, and you're not overthinking situations, and then you're not over-obligating yourself, so you can be in a relaxed flow. And then number 6 on the syllabus today is leadership influence. Be a leader grower. Lead yourself, lead with influence. Have very simple systems that you lead people in. Be able to leverage the ease of your system. Be able to leverage being able to speak to people in short sentences. Be able to mentor people in 15, 20-minute sequences, not hour and 2-hour sequences. And you want to live in leadership, the less is more principle, so that you're leveraging yourself through the tools, the opportunities, and you're spending less energy on the ideal candidates and not a lot of energy by begging, fixing, over-obligating, enabling the people who don't qualify for your time. You want to devote your energy with the people who deserve it, and that is your responsibility to understand who that is. And then the last, number 7, is mentor the leaders. This is the law of the few. This is where people have leadership retreats, or they do unique trainings, or they reward people with dinners and trips and other situations. And this is where you start to create the Mastermind Alliance. My name is Jeffery Combs. I'm the president and founder of Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. If you are a former client and you have coached with me previously, or you have attended my events in the past, or you have been following me for a number of years, and you know that it's your time to hire me, do it. Reach out. I would be honored to speak to you. I have a unique marketing proposition for anyone who is serious, not curious. And if you're already coaching with me and you want to upgrade your coaching, feel free to contact me. I'll be honored to do that with you. I offer 1-year coaching program. So breathe, release, and let go. Thank you, Sharon, for the awesome compliment. And so thank you, Aaron, for also your compliment. And Kevin, good to see you. Joe Frith, good to see you. Good to see all of you here this afternoon. So once again, if you would like to speak to me, send me a message. I would be honored to connect with you this afternoon. Breathe, release, and let go. This Facebook Live is officially recorded. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Breathe, release, and let go.